And I'm curious, you said your is in theology, and I read somewhere that you have, in your previous life, been an ordained minister. And I had someone who's a rabbi on, and, she was like, people kind of think, oh, you're a rabbi, you shouldn't be writing about sex and you shouldn't be writing romance. And I imagine as an ordained minister, there's kind of a similar thing. So my question is, why is it so shocking for an ordained minister to be interested in romance and sex?
Right. Well, because it's patriarchy, girl. Like a lot of the history of the church is historically trying to silence people who are not in power, and the people who are generally in power have been men. So, silencing women, silencing queer folk, most recently, all that sort of stuff. So, I came to religion late. I came to certainly Christianity later in life. I was not raised with it. So I didn't have all these hangups coming in to the church. And so when I came in, I was like, I chose to believe this because I discovered a God that was a God of love. Like the whole point was this is an entity that is bigger and stronger and larger than all of the hate and vitriol and ridiculousness that we shout into the world. And God responds to that with complete, unadulterated love. So
Hmm.
to come then into organizations that said they believed that, but then actually didn't live that out in the lived experience of the church or for a lot of people in the church, it just became really distasteful for me. And so I wound up leaving. And there's a whole other rabbit
I'm
trail.
sure there's a lot more there. Yes.
Was one of the reasons. There's a couple more that I've sort of had some experiences that have changed my actual belief in things. But anyhow, yeah, but going back to that sort of, again, that really puritanical idea that pleasure is somehow wrong and sinful. And yet, if you take this stance that you are somebody who is religious, then you generally believe that God created you and created your body, and pleasure, sexual pleasure as well, as like the just the touch pleasure, all of these are created in your body. Like, why? It would be like saying, okay, well, you're supposed to drink water to thrive, but you know what? Peeing is evil. Like, what?
Yes.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. Why? Other than, again, these patriarchal forces. But right, I could get into that stuff pretty quickly. But for me, sex and love should be something that's pleasurable. And again, when we're talking about consent and all of those things are beautiful, and in its context, it should be something fun and pleasurable and beautiful and to be celebrated, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And maybe that's part of why the church kicked me out and I kicked myself out of it. So, but yeah, I didn't buy into the prudishness of the faith. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here, and
It's
good for you for sticking with yourself.